Welcome back to the Stock Scoop, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mickey Dee. You are at the baby knockout. Yeah, what's that? They're talking about that baby knockout all over. Founder, creator, publisher of the Baby Knockout newsletter, ladies and gentlemen. Also, founder of the Baby Knockout trading strategy, where our baby knockouts knock out the stock market competition, ladies and gentlemen. Big year. We're starting January real early. When we close on Monday, happy King Day to all of you out there, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a great holiday. Be safe and go to some King Day parades and eat some food and watch some sports, and let's have a great day. Let's celebrate Dr. King on Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it. Also, Mama D, happy birthday, Mama D. She's had some medical challenges, shall we say, over the last 4, 5, 6 years. You guys know this, but she's hanging in there and she's doing really well. Papa D too. He's hanging in there. He's had some challenges and he has to go to war. I mean, he goes to war like 3 times a week, if you know what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. He has to go in there into the office, and he's been strong and steady and been doing it. I want to talk to you today, though, about a little bit of controversy, a Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin always brings out everybody because we had people, 6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, made a lot of money in Bitcoin because we were one of the companies that started I wrote the little book. I'll show you a little book. Wrote that. I put some companies in there that went from under $1 to over $70, over $60. So we really knocked it out of the ballpark then. But guess what? That stock is coming around again. That trade rather, and some of those stocks too. I want to look at one of those stocks right now and see what it's still doing. Maybe we'll take a look at it. And some of you people, come on back home. Come on back home. My Bitcoin millionaires, come on back home. You guys, you've spent your money. You spent $250,000. You spent a half. You guys bought houses. You bought cars. You paid off seconds. You did all that stuff. Come on back home and let's do this again. Okay, let's do it again, man. It's only what it's only costing you. What's the Baby Knockout newsletter for all you founding members? It's only $99 a year, not a month, a year. So go ahead, chime in any of the description areas, get yourself set up for this big run because 2026 is going to be off the chain, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't want to be pigeonholed. Oh, he's a cannabis guy. Oh, he's a this kind of guy. He's just a uranium guy. He's a gold and silver guy. He's a lithium guy. All our sectors are going to do very well. So I'm gonna have to cover them all this year. It's one of those years where we're going to have bull markets all over. So I'll be all over and cover. We've written books in this area. We have receipts, ladies and gentlemen. We'll show you something here. Let's talk about it here in a second. Bitcoin, and let's talk about one of the stocks that was in the book that's exploded, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look. Once again, happy King Day. Mama D, happy birthday. Let's take a look. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Baby Knockout Gold. It's Mickey D. I want to tell you about a Bitcoin stock. I want to tell you about HUT8, which was one of the 3 or 4 that are in this book right here. Early on, ladies and gentlemen, we singled out these stocks early on. And I told you in videos, which, you can't hear the sound of the videos, but I had videos where HUT8 was under 50 cents. And I talked about it and I said it was going to do something. So I wish you had a sound to these videos because I was telling you really right then what time it was because HUT8 was going to do something. But let's take a look at it right now. It's I'm going to look at their website here, ladies and gentlemen. HUT8, it was one of 4 of our original companies our original Bitcoin companies, and we made a lot of money on these companies. These companies now, especially companies like HUT8 right now. HUT 8 is going to a newer model right now. HUT 8 is actually it's up much higher than I thought it would go. Of course, we took it from 40 cents up to roughly maybe $20 or so. And that was, we weren't being greedy, but if you're holding on to it now, congratulations. It's been a great 4 or 5 year run with HUT 8. Uh, IREN also, it's been a great run. You guys set stops on these things. Do I think they're going much higher? Yes, I do think companies like HUT 8 are going. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The year of the OG 2026. This is going to be our year. Yeah, I called it, baby. I called it 2026. Uranium was just going, I didn't know silver and gold were going to do all this, but we're going to get a little Bitcoin action. We're going to get some action on the Bitcoin. I believe that we're going to break out here. We might go down a little bit, but we're going to break out. There's going to be some good things coming. Good things come to those who wait. Let me tell you a little story here, ladies and gentlemen. When I was back in high school, it was a long time ago, like 70s, early 80s. I was back in high school, right? They were talking about these computers, right? They were talking about you're gonna have, the principal was gonna have a computer, in the office. Then the libraries were gonna have a computer. You'd be able to, and then they'd be in the rooms, and some crazy person was going around on television, I think it was, saying that you'll be able to carry it. Laptop, I guess that crazy person was right. But one of my friends, one of my good friends, his parents said no mas. They weren't going on vacation one summer. I asked, everybody's like, it's vacation. What are you going to do for, the summer? What are you going, one of my friends said, nah, he wasn't going nowhere this year. Said it wasn't going nowhere, they look forward to the vacations and stuff. I know I look forward to like my kids look forward to vacations, summer. Your kids probably look forward to vacations, right? They weren't going anywhere. I said, why not? He said that his mom and dad decided that they were going to invest in a little stock. They were going to buy a 25-cent stock. He said, and they were going to spend all their money on that because his dad thought it would go to $1 someday. His dad thought this, him and his dad and his mom, they bought a lot of shares that summer. They bought a lot of shares, and they thought that a 25-cent stock would go to $1. The nerve, the audacity of them to think that well, I'll always remember that stock because it was called Microsoft, and they made out, man. Left that school, went to a private school. I was still at the public school. They made out. Microsoft was a baby knockout, a 25-cent stock. Look at it today. Those people that held on to Microsoft for just 10, 15 years, retirement supreme, millionaires, and all that. And I had a friend of mine who was, his parents, he was upset because he couldn't go on vacation. The family couldn't go on vacation. Was that pennies and patience move? I'm right, it was. That was a great move. But anyway, that's what we do. That's what we do, ladies and gentlemen. Pennies and patience. I don't want to bore you with any more stories, but I got a phone call. I've been getting a lot of phone calls. Love you. God bless you. Take care of you and your family. Need strength, need energy, need guidance. Just look up, ladies.